Mike the Poet, 29.5. And Dad, 29.4. Come on up here. But, thank you to all the poets. Come on. Thank you to all the poets who participated. And please, don't go anywhere because Underground loves you and we want to show you our love by giving you a gift. So don't leave. Okay? Hello, poets? I think they mad. But we're going to flip a coin.
I'm so bad at these things.
Mike, you got to flip a coin, right? You ready? Y'all need to come over here. Over here. One here and one there. Thank you. Heads or tails?
Tails.
All right.
Ready? Debbie said tails. Yeah. Come on, Kyle. Good. Tails.
Yeah.
Go first or Mike? You can go first. I'm a gentleman.
We're drinking out some hot water. So, Mike.
See, I wrote this poem for the poet Shihan. Because last year I witnessed a poetry show that left me so inspired. In fact, I was so inspired by Shihan's words that I rushed home after the show, thinking about making myself a better person. Not just a better poet, a better person. But when I got home, I began working on what would inevitably be the greatest poem that I had ever written. My health. I began to write my health. You see, I too have struggled with weight my entire life. Even losing 50 pounds or more at a time, only to gain it back just like that. And they say that fat people are funny, and it's really hard to disagree because there have been so many, but I'm going to put it to you like this, you see. There's one thing that every overweight person knows, and that is if you struggle with your weight as a kid, then you're bound to be the butt of many jokes. So you might as well be funny, right? That's what I did. It was a coping mechanism. But since I believe that poor eating habits and obesity are amongst the greatest concerns affecting our culture today, it is no longer a laughing matter to me. In fact, I think about it more tragically since I am one of those people who are addicted to the foods that are bad for me. And sometimes we need a little help to kick our bad habits, and I find encouragement through this type of poetry. So like I said, I left Shihan's show and I was so inspired that I began cleaning out my pantry, knowing that this poem could never be squeezed in between the perfect straight blue lines that are found inside a recycled composition notebook. Knowing that this poem would have to somehow force listeners to read between proverbial lines to find the place where this poem connects to them. So this poem has never been written on paper. This poem was written on my internal organs. Knowing that my body is a church. So it's no wonder why we call them organs. Because inside of our bodies, we possess these instruments to play the music of our choosing. And I choose for it to be played from my lungs with less smoke. Through my gums, with less sugary drinks to chew up my teeth, gums, and throat. It's going to be written on my bladder and on my kidneys and on my large and small intestine and even in those scary places that we just don't want to mention. The dark places and the trenches. This poem is going to be written in my veins and on my muscles and even on my largest organ of them all. The skin, the skin is the largest human organ. And if I work hard enough and if I'm so blessed, one day this poem will be written on every frown and on every wrinkle, on every smile and on every dimple, on every scar and on every blemish. And then one day I'll be so good at poetry I won't even say ish. I'll just stand up here and make faces. And you will lift the message right from my faces, receiving every sign and all the traces of the places that I lived and the bases that I covered in this game of hits and chases with its ups and downs and chance and choices. And you will still hear me when I'm gone through God's silent, chosen voices. Because I think life is all about chance and choices. You live with the choices you make, but you die letting chance dictate your mistakes. So I should admit that I made a mistake. I said that this was a poem for Shihan. That was a lie. Actually, I tried to inspire every mind in here, hoping that one day you might find yourself on this stage trying to describe an emotion that you otherwise may be trying to hide. See, poetry provokes. I learned that from one scribe, but this poem could never be for one man. This poem is one man. This poem is alive.
Let's go! I am not unique, but I can see. I am not unique, but I can speak. I am not unique. You do not need X-ray vision, though, for the revealing to perceive. The money is taking over the global economy. And we don't stand a chance when the influx isn't hiding, and we're surrounded by advertising. Can you read the sign, please? We're driving down the highways and the billboards are moving like TV screens, but we never question the promoting of obesity. We can't count the calories because we're just counting big dollar salaries and the distractions and inactions. We've got to hide the young minds from the brainwashing, hypnotizing, paralyzing, forged from an American dream, where there are prejudices expressed and dominance. Have we forgotten about the innocent, the kids that have to live with this? How could I forgive myself and never fight or give out help? I pray currency would up and mount, and the government would find self-help. And then societal standards could define societal wealth, and not the deliria inventing new criteria for mental health. And they call me eccentric because the Josens never inspired me, and consumerism and BOGO bargains could not completely haywire me. So I hang my head for the victims of the graphs and statistics who cooperated silently. Rest in peace, equality. You were destroyed by opportunity, and then we step on heads and name it unity. And we are all competing, and they are hiding, and we all just want the same thing, so I wish they would just fire me. Forget to manipulate me. They neglect or incarcerate me, and then they case the joint because I laced the joint, and I had to get high to live on these peaceless streets. Created confines because we live violently. But they want you to just play make-believe, to think you count as the upper-class ducks and weaves the heavy responsibility, surrounded by the trickery. But the magic trick that's up the sleeve, a rabbit occupying to see more green. And I would name that devolving. Pioneer dreams weaved, replaced by market solving, and the economy is falling. The cash does all the talking, loudly, walks proudly, where the ignorance sleeps soundly. And I pray for the coming of a final straw, because the camel's back is blood and draw, and the silver bullet is a know-it-all, masquerading as a baby doll and hiding behind her parasol. And the dialogue is dirty as we buy and sell all. And there is no one left to call, and war can't save us now. And my conscience finds me in my sleep, where denial leaves me weak, and I know the talk is cheap, and I am not unique, but I can see. So I write, so I may speak. And it is not the time to give up. This world is really fucked up, and love is not enough. This poem is not enough. So I think it's up to us to match, to combat, to fight the fucking unjust.
Deb scores. 9.9. 9.7, 9.6, 9.8, and a 9.8.
Are y'all ready?
Cool. All right, Mike, can I have you on this side of me, please? Mike, did I give you your score lesson?
No.
All right. So I'm going to give Mike's score first. Mike actually got a score of 29.
Boo!
But wait, there's more! You went over your time.
Boo!
So we had to dock him a little bit, so his actual score is 28.5. She said, what the fuck? That score, drum roll,
'Light and day.